and let's arrive. Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators in the Spokane Sangha, and I am so happy to be here. And today I'd like to share with you a sentiment of metta, loving kindness, that reads, "May you celebrate your life. May you celebrate your life." As you settle in, I think one of the beautiful things that you can celebrate in your life is the wise effort, the wholesome actions, the virtuous intentions that you have cultivated well enough to bring you to a recovery meeting. It is astounding, extraordinary, deeply inspiring. And I want to thank each and every one of you for prioritizing this time to gather in community, to be with people who are dedicated to practice and who are here to understand their relationship to habit energy. It is a privilege to be here. It is an honor to be here, and I delight in this time together. And that is the essence of celebration that I'd like to bring to life in this moment. So let's just settle in with that for a few moments of silence and enjoy breathing in and out together. Friends, before I read for you the wisdom of Thich Nhat Hanh, I'd like to share with you a little bit of information about him and something about Thich Nhat Hanh's teachings that have resonated deeply with me for many, many years. And that is that Thich Nhat Hanh really took the Buddha's teachings to his own heart. And by that I mean The Buddha was very, very clear when he instructed his students to take his examples, to take his wisdom, his thoughts, his opinions and perspectives, and test drive it for yourself, to really take it for your own personal spin. Don't take his word for it. Don't try to be like him, but instead allow the wisdom, the Buddha's wisdom, to be like a beautiful tea that you drink, and it nourishes you to enact your own life in your own way. And Thich Nhat Hanh did this beautifully. And he also did it with great risk and consequence. So Thich Nhat Hanh was a monk at a very early age, about 16. And when he was born in 1926, and he had lived a monastic life in Vietnam. It was a very quiet, semi-cloistered life. He was very connected with rural villages and things like that, offering Dharma teachings and so forth. But then the Vietnam War broke out, and villages all over Vietnam, all over the monastery where he lived, were ravaged. And he was told very specifically not to leave the monastery, not to go help. And Thich Nhat Hanh thought that was completely counterintuitive to anything that he had learned from his Buddhist teachings, where we go out and we enact loving kindness and compassion and we help. And so he broke with the governance, the monastic governance of his time, and decided to become a single operating monk, and he devoted his life with a couple of lay people to help rebuild and restore the villages that were just razed to the ground. And ironically, he became public enemy number one, and he had to flee his homeland. And he found refuge in the United States, he found refuge in France, and because of all of that turmoil and all of that strife and all of that impermanence and change, the world was introduced and found healing in the mindfulness practices alive in Thich Nhat Hanh. His work is an extraordinary gift. He has brought healing to millions. And his greatest legacy is he took these teachings and made them alive in himself, challenging tradition, challenging the thoughts of the day, and made them his own. Here's an example. He writes, "If we transform the present, we transform the past." He also says this, "We may think we cannot return to the past to correct mistakes we've made, but the past has created the present. And if we practice mindfulness in the present, we naturally are in contact with the past. Our suffering and happiness are closely linked to the suffering and happiness of our ancestors. If we can transform ourselves, we can also transform them." If we transform the present, we transform the past. We may think we cannot return to the past to correct mistakes we have made. But the past has created the present. And if we practice mindfulness in the present, we naturally are in contact with the past. Our suffering and happiness are closely linked to the suffering and happiness of our ancestors. If we can transform ourselves, we can also transform them. How many times have we heard sentiments that are spiritually bypassing, like, well, the past is in the past. Can't do anything about it. Just leave it in the past. Let it go. It's the past. And while that is true, the truth is that it haunts us. An unbefriended past will continue to haunt the present. And that's the invitation today. And one of the things that I think is so joyful and beautiful, particularly in a community of recovery, is yes, we all may have speckled pasts, dark days, regrettable behavior, unskillful interactions, shameful encounters due to enormous confusion, sorrow, trauma, loss, grief. And all of that has, in some miraculous way, created and participated in creating the conditions for us to be here in this beautiful space, gathered together in community, contemplating the spacious, loving capacity of mindfulness, hearing an invitation to know our past as a companion to the present. And in this present moment, bring forward an empowered spirit of healing. And by doing so, we heal the present, we heal the past, and we bring healing into the future. We are powerful beings, wise, virtuous, noble. May your practice today allow the weight of the past to lighten, become clear, and to find some freedom. Friends, we'll end our beautiful meditation today chanting beautiful chant to Shakyamuni Buddha. If you know this chant, you can chant along with me. Otherwise, just enjoy it and breathe. Inhaling together. Taya Tao Muni Muni Maha Muni Soha. Taya Tao Muni Muni Maha Muni Soha. Taya Tao Muni Muni Maha Muni Soha. Deep bow to you all, Buddhas to be. So with that, let's go ahead and end our practice today. And I just invite you to come to a noble posture. Sit nice and tall. We began our practice today with, may you celebrate your life. And sometimes it's really hard to be in the present moment, as we heard today from Rose and others, when the present moment is kind of laden with regret and things that we can't change. Maybe a loved one is gone. But like what Patricia shared, is her practice in the present moment is softening her relationship with her loved one who is no longer here, and yet who's very much still here in her. And so the power of cultivating wholesomeness and virtuous action, cultivating kindness and joy, like truly being able to celebrate your life and rise above some darkness, is so incredibly healing. And so may you take in this practice and go into the rest of your day knowing that your smile could make all the difference to someone. To ask someone, how are you, with sincerity. To pay someone a compliment. These are such small acts of kindness with profound effect. And it is a wonder to be able to offer them. It is a true kindness and act of love. May this practice build your capacity and your confidence to share your innate goodness, your Buddha nature with the world. We'll see you next time, friends. Namaste.